Imagine looking at 4.4 million US dollars in cold hard cash stacked in heavy metal trunks. It represents a fortune that could change your bloodline forever. Now imagine taking it all in broad daylight, surrounded by witnesses without firing a single bullet, and doing it all in exactly 149 seconds. You'd think a crime like that requires an army, but in October 2024, it only took 6 men, a white Ford Ranger, and a secret that someone was desperate to hide. This isn't a Hollywood movie script. I wish it was. This is the story of the biggest bank heist in Zimbabwean history. A story of international syndicates, a shocking betrayals, and a staggering fortune that simply vanished into thin air. I am Jacob Drinker. If you're new to the channel, please like the video and subscribe. Get this video to 10,000 likes. It is Thursday, October the 3rd in 2024. Bulawayo, Zimbabwe. The city is moving at its usual pace. Down at the corner of 5th Street and 9th Avenue sits the EcoBank branch at Parkett Center. It's just past 3 p.m. Outside the bank, a heavily armored safeguard cash-in-transit vehicle is parked. The guards are executing a massive cash collection. They are not loading a few $1,000s of daily deposits. We are talking about 6 steel trunks loaded with exactly 4.4 million United States dollars. At 3 p.m., a white Ford Ranger single cab suddenly swerves onto the scene, tires screeching against the tarmac. The doors fly open before the truck comes to a complete halt. 6 men jump out. They are wearing masks. But what freezes the blood of every bystander on 5th Street isn't the mask, it is the heavy artillery. They are wielding AK-47 assault rifles, moving with terrifying military precision.
Because it is clear that this thing was well planned.
Let's break down the psychology of a heist. Usually armed robbers are chaotic, people shout, shots are fired in panic, mistakes are made, but this gang, they operate in dead silence. They swarm the safeguard guards. Within seconds, the heavily armored security detail is completely overpowered and disarmed. There is no struggle, there is no Hollywood shootout. The robbers grab the heavy metal cash boxes. They don't fumble, they toss them into the back of the Ford Ranger. From the moment the first boot hit the pavement to the moment the Ford Ranger sped away down 5th Street, exactly 149 seconds. Bulawayo police arrive minutes later to a scene of absolute disbelief. Bystanders have captured the entire thing on their cell phones, and within an hour the footage is going incredibly viral. The immediate public reaction is shock. How could a gang pull this off in the middle of a busy city? The police have one solid lead. The high-definition cell phone footage clearly captured the license plate of the white Ford Ranger. The detectives trace the plate, they raid the registered address, ready to kick down the doors and recover the 4.4 million US dollars. But when they arrive, they don't find the getaway car or the syndicate of millionaires. They find a completely unrelated innocent civilian who owns a Mazda Demio. The Ford Ranger was a ghost. The robbers had swapped the plates just blocks away before the heist. The trail was instantly dead. EcoBank closes its doors, citing extreme trauma to its staff and customers. The money is gone and the robbers are gone. But as investigators sit in the dark, endlessly looping the viral 149-second video, they start to notice something terrifying. The robbers didn't just know where the money was, they knew the exact minute the security detail would be most exposed on the pavements. The timing was entirely too perfect for a random ambush. And then a detective notices something in the background of the footage, a detail everyone missed. To pull this off, the 6 men in the truck needed something else, the 7th man. You don't just happen to drive past a bank precisely when 4.4 million is sitting on the sidewalk. You need intel, you need eyes on the inside. For weeks, the Zimbabwe Republic Police chase shadows. The public begins to whisper that the money has already crossed the border into South Africa. The white Ford Ranger has seemingly vanished off the face of the earth. But the ZTNPrime doesn't close the file. Instead, they changed their entire strategy. If they can't trace the car, they will trace the communication. By late 2024 and early 2025, the Zimbabwean National Police spokesperson, Commissioner Ponyard, goes on record. The heist, the authorities conclude, was an inside job.
An inside hand in the robbery case.
Think about the logistics of cash in transit. The routes are randomized, the schedules are highly classified. Only a few selected individuals within the security apparatus and the financial institution know when a shipment of that magnitude is moving. The gang knew at the exact vulnerability window. They were allegedly fed real-time information by someone wearing a uniform. The focus shifts from the streets of Bulawayo to the employee roosters. But as the internal investigation heats up, a massive international break the case wide open. Fast forward to November 2025, over a year after the heist. Authorities in neighboring Botswana flag a 40-year-old man named Bekani Mlilo.
One of the suspects, Begani Mpilo, has already appeared in a Bulawayo court.
After an intense cross-border operation, Mlilo is extradited to Zimbabwe and is immediately thrown into an interrogation room. After intense pressure, Mlilo starts to talk. He peels back the layers of the entire syndicate. This wasn't a crew of opportunistic street thugs. This was a highly sophisticated transnational organized crime network. Mlilo gives the detectives what they want. Names. He names Simon Kolan Kobo and Khalid Ntiman. But most importantly, he hands over the identities behind the 149 seconds operation, the architects behind the heist, and the masterminds, the genius masterminds. They are two brothers and they are living completely off-grid. But as the police prepare to launch a massive manhunt for the brothers, Mlilo drops one final devastating bombshell. The authorities assumed the money was immediately smuggled across the border to fund lavish lifestyles in Johannesburg or Cape Town. You are looking in the wrong country, Mlilo allegedly implies. The border was too hot, the security was too tight in the days of the following viral video. To move 4.4 million physical US currency, you need trucks, you need bribes, and you need time. If the money didn't cross the border, that means the cash, thousands of pounds of paper, is still buried right here in Zimbabwe. The hunt is now international, but the prize is local. The ZTNPrime partners with South African law enforcement and Interpol. They are tracking the ghosts. The masterminds identified as Abraham Temai Bumbunu and Elijah Temai Bumbunu. For months, the brothers operate like phantoms in the South African underworld. But every criminal makes a mistake, a digital footprint, a phone call, a wire transfer. On July the 5th of 2025, South African specialized units kicked down the doors of a safe house. They finally slapped the cuffs on Abraham and Elijah Bumbunu. The architects of the biggest heist in Zimbabwean history are finally in custody. It feels like a victory. The bad guys are caught. The syndicate is dismantled. But hold on, let's do the math. We have the getaway driver. We have the alleged inside informants under intense scrutiny. We have the masterminds in a South African holding cell fighting extradition. But we are missing something. The 4.4 million US dollars. Where does an amount of cash that large go? You can't just walk into a car dealership and buy 10 Ferraris in cash without raising red flags. You can't deposit it into a bank. Criminal syndicates of this level use a technique called smurfing, or they invest in massive cash-heavy front businesses, real estate, hardware stores, underground mining claims. The chilling reality is that the 4.4 million US dollars stolen on that Thursday afternoon might be circulating right now. It might have paid for the groceries for the person standing next to you in line. It might have funded for the construction of the biggest complex building in your area. The Bumbunu brothers are caught, but the money, the true phantom of the 149-second heist, is still out there, hiding in plain sight. Was the real mastermind someone we haven't even named yet? Someone who used the brothers as a smokescreen while they walk away with the real prize? The Bulawayo EcoBank heist is a masterpiece of criminal logistics and a terrifying reminder that absolute loyalty in the underworld is a myth. I am Jacob Drinker, and if you enjoyed the video, a like and subscribe. See you in the next one.
Give me the beat.